Hello, explorers. Welcome back to the Accidental Explorer.
Okay, so today we're going to take a deep dive into something pretty heavy.
Mhm.
Pretty sensitive, but super interesting. Hypothetically speaking, of course, what if Nagaland just up and declared independence from India?
Yeah, big one, right.
Yeah, big question. And to really break this down, we're looking at this analysis. It's called What If Nagaland Declared Independence? The hypothetical, that shakes India.
Mm.
So right off the bat,
It does shake things up, yeah.
it does shake things up. And we're not here to like wave any flags or take sides or anything like that, but we want to, use this source to really look at why this question even comes up, historically, what's going on socially, politically. So listeners, we're giving you like a clear path through this really complicated issue and all the crazy things that could happen, right?
Absolutely. And I think what's important to start with is just acknowledging the really long and kind of complex history between Nagaland and India. Way back in 1929, you had the Naga Club submitting a memorandum to the Simon Commission.
Yeah, I read about that.
And it's not just some small petition. It was a big statement even back then about the Naga people wanting to define themselves, distinctly. Then, of course, you've got the uprisings in the 50s and the 60s, and, all that points to a relationship that's been anything but simple.
Definitely not simple. And this analysis calls out this long-lasting impact, right?
Mm.
Especially from the AFSPA, that Armed Forces Special Powers Act.
Yeah.
I mean, they call it like a generational wound.
Oh, yeah, for sure. A generational wound.
So it's like this heavy stuff from the past still weighing on things today.
Exactly. And when you think about how that shapes identity, the analysis says there's a really strong sense of being Naga, of a unique tribal identity.
Right.
And they contrast that with what they see as this push for, one Indian nationalism, bringing up stuff like Bollywood and Hindi and saffron politics. It's really fascinating.
It makes you wonder, right? Like, does Nagaland really feel like it's part of India? Or is it more like being managed from afar,
Right. Is it integration or is it more like administration?
Exactly. And the source even says something like, the Naga voice is buried, muted, forgotten in India.
Yeah, like they're not being heard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then, what happens if they actually did declare independence? What does that even look like?
Well, the source lays out some potential consequences, and it's not pretty. They predict India would come down hard, probably with a huge military response.
Right. I mean, you can imagine that.
But then it also gets into some really interesting modern factors, too. Like, think about youth activists on social media or international human rights groups. Even the UN getting involved. It's a whole different ballgame now.
Oh, for sure. And it's not just internal either, right? The source brings up China, like what are they going to do with all this happening on their doorstep? And then there's Myanmar right next door, and they've got their own instability going on.
Yeah, it's a powder keg waiting to go off. And, the source even says India might end up with some serious egg on its face globally, trying to contain all of this.
Embarrassment on a global stage, they say.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like this huge mess. But through all of this, the source asks this really deep question that kind of gets to the heart of it all.
What is it?
Why is it easier to imagine Nagaland breaking away than it is to picture them truly being a part of India, with real respect and equal recognition and everything?
Whoa, so listeners, think about that for a second. I mean, that's what we're really unpacking here.
Okay.
A history of feeling wronged, a struggle for identity, and then all these potential futures that are just wild.
It all boils down to how much a place like Nagaland can feel at home in a big, diverse country like India.
Exactly. And to really hammer that home, the analysis ends with this powerful question. I mean, it says, why do so many in Nagaland still feel like outsiders in their own country?
It makes you think about belonging, doesn't it?
Huge questions for everyone to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time.